Hello everybody, and thank you so much for joining me for another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Preptober and NaNoWriMo and all of the things. But before I get into that, I have a quick announcement. The next couple of weeks, I'm thinking that I'm only going to be able to make one video a week. I know I normally make 2 videos a week, but things have been really crazy lately. So I just don't know if I'm going to be able to continue to produce the same amount of content at the same rate. And I think it's better for the quality of everything that I'm producing and putting out there for you guys that I produce less of it. So it should only be for a couple of weeks until I get back on track with everything. But for now, this is what I'm going to be filming. Okay, so now on to the actual video, shall we? If you don't know what NaNoWriMo is National Novel Writing Month, and it happens every year in November, where a bunch of people get this crazy idea and decide to write a book in 30 days. There's a website for it, there's community groups for it, Facebook groups for it, trackers and programs and all kinds of things. People get really invested into this idea of writing a novel in a month. And yeah, fun fact, I have actually participated in NaNoWriMo before. However, I gave up on day 3, but I did write 10,000 words in 3 days. So it was pretty successful if you do ask me. Yeah, but writing 10,000 words in 3 days is not the same as writing an entire book in 30 days. So I have tended to steer clear of NaNoWriMo and similar writing challenges just because I feel like I'm horrible at commitment. I'm horrible at having deadlines, but I need to get over that. When I started writing the first draft of my WIP, which is a biblical fiction novel, at the beginning of this year-ish, around February is when I started outlining and coming up with the idea and kind of mulling it over in my mind and thinking about it. I thought that I would have it done in 3 months, or at least 6 months, or at least by the end of the year. And it's October, and I'm not even halfway through yet. I'm like, okay, just to clarify, I'm like 1 chapter away from being halfway through. But 1 chapter away from being halfway through is not the same as being halfway through. So in this month of October, I have been preparing myself mentally and kind of physically, I guess, for participating in NaNoWriMo. Me. You heard it here first, folks. I currently have 30,000 words in my manuscript, a little bit over 30,000 words, and my target word count is around 70,000 for the first draft because I would like it to be somewhere between 80,000 and 100,000 by my final draft, but since I'm an underwriter and I recognize that, my realistic goal for the first draft is 70,000 words, preferably 75, but we're not pushing it here. Now, I wanted to finish this draft by the end of the year, and I figured that the best way for me to do that was to do NaNoWriMo. Since most people commit to writing 40,000 words in a month anyways, I will be doing the same thing and hopefully not failing at it. So how do you prep for NaNoWriMo? Well, there's this whole thing called Preptober, which happens in October, conveniently the month before NaNoWriMo in November, where people decide to prep for NaNoWriMo. And I'm not really sure how they do it, but, well, I've tried. It's been probably a solid month since I've actually been able to sit down and write consistently in my WIP, and that's because I've had like work and jobs and things to do that take priority because bills. So Preptober for me has meant more of getting back into my story and becoming more excited by my outline, because I'm not that excited about my outline right now. I kind of look at it and I'm like, what are these characters? These people are strangers to me. I don't know what I'm doing. It's been so long since I've written down to write anything for these people. I don't know their voices anymore. So Preptober for me has meant revisiting my outline, potentially reworking my outline, and doing more character exercises. And what I mean by that is things like character profiles or different activities where I think about my characters, working on my Pinterest boards, making aesthetics, and things that really draw me back into that world and into that headspace of writing a book. Because if you're not in the right headspace for writing a book, you're never going to write the book. I'm sorry. I know there are people that say you just need to push through like whatever problem you're facing and get the draft done. But for me, if I'm not thinking, like if I'm not in the right mood for writing, I'm not going to write at all, period. So But again, there is no right way to write a book. Everyone just needs to learn what works best for them and do whatever works for them, in my opinion, because you know your story, you know your limitations, and you know you best. So do you, bro. So that's kind of what I've been doing for Preptober and my goals for NaNoWriMo. If you're doing NaNoWriMo, I would love to hear about it more in the comments below. I have to cut this short because Piper's going a little crazy in the background, and I think she's eating the kitchen. If you're doing NaNoWriMo, please tell me about it in the comments below. Tell me how you're prepping for it. If you are doing any kind of prep work or Preptober stuff for it, I would love to know about it. And I would love to be your friend and support you during NaNoWriMo because NaNoWriMo is hard. I'm Jenna Van Mourik, an inspired writer and an inspirational fiction reader who reads, writes, and lives for Jesus. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Jenna Van Mourik, as well as Facebook, Pinterest, and all of the things. The links are in the description box below. Don't forget to subscribe if you liked this video, and hit the like button if you liked this video and want to see more content like this. And also don't forget to check out my blog, where I post new book reviews and occasionally snippets of my life here and there at www.jennavanmourik. Again, all of my links are in the description box below. It's really not that hard to find me anywhere, and I would love to connect with you and be NaNoWriMo buddies. What was that, Piper? Thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you next time. Bye!